COVID-19 patients are laid face down to help their breathing. A nurse massages the back of one as he gasps for air. Many of these coronavirus patients should be in an intensive care ward, but there's no room.
Here in Huánuco, medics say they're overwhelmed. It's not just the sheer number of patients, but the seriousness of the cases. And when it gets to this stage, oxygen is the only treatment. And even with a new plant installed this week, there's still not enough.
Dr. Herman Bauer is trying to manage a surge in patients in a field hospital without enough beds or oxygen.
Here, where we should be treating moderate patients, we have severely ill patients because we can't hold back the number of patients coming from the hospital. It keeps going up and up. It's like a wheel. We try to get patients home, but more keep arriving and arriving.
Forced to improvise, they have given patients snorkel masks to help them with their oxygen intake. But the daily death toll is unrelenting.
In the first wave, it took around 3 months to reach the peak. In this second wave, we have already surpassed the first peak in less than a month and a half, in half the time. This time around, it will take many more people.
A newly installed oxygen plant joins 3 others in Huánuco, but the supply still falls short. A batch of 50 new oxygen concentrators helps with the shortfall. But far more oxygen is needed now than during the virus's deadliest peak in August, says the local Social Security Director, Jaime Valderrama.
In the first wave, 70 to 80% of the patients were mild to moderate cases and 20% severe or critical. Now it's the opposite. Now we have 20% mild to moderate cases and 70 to 80% severe or critical cases.
Help is arriving. Medical supplies and 24 nurses have flown in from the capital Lima. Overcome with emotion, Huánuco's governor meets them at the airport.
We are glad to receive these enthusiastic and brave young people. There is no vaccine, there's no medicine, and many young people are being affected. A young woman of 29 years of age just died in the hospital here. A young woman who had her whole life ahead of her.
Even as the young die, some people appear oblivious to the risks as the virus sweeps through this poor city in the middle of Peru. Dan Collyns, CGTN in Huánuco.